Well, a possible immigration reform bill hitting a potential roadblock. Some of the bill's own backers calling for delaying the measure in the wake of the Boston terror bombings. Let's bring in our political panel now. Alexis McGill-Johnson, she is executive director of the American Values Institute, and Ron Bonjean, he is former communications director to Republican House Speaker Dennis Hastert. Thank you both for joining us on this Sunday.
Thanks, Heather.
Thank you very much.
Ron, I'll start with you.
Yeah.
Should the bombings in Boston delay the plans for the immigration reform?
Well, let me just say this. I think it's smart for those that are concerned about what happened in Boston to be concerned about the immigration bill. Several Republican senators have said we need to go slow and go through this bill with a fine-tooth comb to make sure that we're doing the right things to help prevent any type of potential terrorist activity from happening if the immigration bill can prevent it. So if there's anything we can do to help our national security measures, like like for instance the tracking of who comes in and who comes out of this country that have political asylum or have residency or on student visas, let's do that. But I don't think that those who the other side of the aisle, they've been calling Republicans. They say Republicans are using Boston as a way to scuttle immigration. I don't agree with that. I think it's smart to go slow and get it right.
Yeah, and we're not saying stop it, Alexis. We're just saying, go slow. Marco Rubio, he said, if Boston exposes flaws in our system, immigration or otherwise, we should address that. We should address that in this bill, if possible, of course. So why not, just slow down a little bit right now?
I think the problem with slowing down is the fact that we've been having this conversation for a number of years. We have been in a very slow process, and there are millions of hardworking, essentially Americans already who have been here paying taxes, who have been trying to engage, who are aspiring citizens. And I think it's really a travesty that we are trying to use Boston as a way to delay this. These brothers came here as kids. They were radicalized here. That doesn't expose a flaw in the immigration system. It exposes a flaw in the way we're gathering intelligence. They were on our radar. Why weren't we doing something about it?
Yes, but they came here as children. They committed these horrific crimes, these acts of terrorism as adults. They became citizens when they were adults. 2012, September 11th of 2012, that's when Zakar became, a U.S. citizen, full-fledged, 100%. Ron?
Well, I would just say that, look, I think going slow is a smart idea, and the Boston bombings exposed our lack of tracking those who come in and come out of our country that have immigrated here. B, on the student visa issue, the friends of these bombers have now been detained because it's been discovered that their student visas have been expired. And by the way, these brothers were planning to attack New York City. Now, we have no idea if their friends were in on this, were in on trying to help them plan it. We don't know. But I think these are exposing flaws in the system, and if we can strengthen anything in the immigration bill that can deal with those flaws, I think it's smart. Look, time is not on the immigration bill side. That's very clear. We need to get this bill done by the end of the year if we're going to have immigration reform. At the same time, you need to convince those who want to make sure we get it done right to go. They need to be convinced that it has to be done correctly.
Yeah, and Alexis, going back to the student visa issue, the 9/11 attackers, they were on student visas. They had overstayed those student visas. Also talking about the entry-exit kind of tracking system that he's calling for. I mean, both of those issues would relate to what happened in Boston.
I think what's clear, Heather, is that immigration reform is going to be the best thing that helps our national security, if this is any indicator. And so, we have people like McCain and Lindsey Graham and Paul Ryan who are all basically saying these same things, that we have got to focus on getting this measure through so that we can begin to identify a process, a pathway for citizenship. The more we engage people who want to be citizens, the better that we'll have a community that will help us inform what's really going on. I think when you look at what happened in Boston, the Boston Muslim community, the Boston mosque where these brothers were attending, are the ones that were helping us identify some of this information. They're the ones who actually kicked him out when they felt that he was being too radical. And we need to embrace that, and we need to embrace a process that helps us get there.
Right, a pathway to citizenship, but at the same time being responsible and understanding and allowing all those citizens, once they do come here, to be safe and these bombings not happen on our streets. So it's a catch-22. Thank you both for joining us. I have to wrap it up there, though.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Thank you.
And we have an extreme weather alert for you this Sunday morning. There's some severe thunderstorms and heavy rains that are causing major flooding in the Houston area. That's being blamed for a roof collapse. Take a look at it there at a food mart that happened in Sugar Land, Texas. Chief Meteorologist Rick Reichmuth is in the Fox Extreme Weather Center watching it all. Good morning, Rick. How bad is it?
Good morning. Yeah, really heavy rainfall. That roof collapsed just from the weight of the rain that had fallen on that roof. People were out of it, which is a good news. But this is what the last 24 hours have looked like. And just to the southwest of Houston, which is where Sugar Land is, saw about 6 inches of rain in 3 hours, and 1.2 of those inches fell in 7 minutes. That's an insane rainfall rate here. A little bit more rain across South Texas today, and we might see even some more showers pop up around the Houston area. So